Y'all, when God says go, when God says do, God brought me back to a scripture that I've read a million times this week and gave me new revelation. I love how He allows me to look at things in a new light, even though I've read things, countless times. He brought me to Joshua. And, Joshua is where we find the Israelites about to enter into, at the beginning of Joshua, they're about to enter into the promised land of Canaan, right? And so the backstory is that, or the beginning of Joshua is that Joshua resends spies to scope out Canaan. The backstory is that that's the second time spies went. Spies went with Moses, and Moses had sent spies to scope out Canaan. They came back and they were like, those people are scary. I don't want to do it. No, thank you. We're good. And because of that, God made the Israelites wander the wilderness for 40 years because of their lack of faith and disobedience until all the fighting men from that generation died off. Anywho, fast forward to Joshua. Joshua resent the spies. The beginning of Joshua is when they come in contact with Rahab. And Rahab is the prostitute who, when they come in contact with her, Rahab tells the spies, she's like, the people in this land have been melting with fear, knowing that y'all are coming. They've been melting with fear because they heard about how your God parted the Red Sea to allow the Israelites through and allow the Egyptians through. They heard about how your God led you to defeat the two Amorite kings. Let's not even try to pronounce their name because we know it won't come out right. They heard about everything that the Israelites' God did. And because of that, they are melting in fear of the Israelites. All the Israelites had to do 40 years before that was be obedient to what God told them to do. That's it. Just be obedient, which Joshua does carry out that obedience later on. But so much of what we have to do in this walk just comes down to obedience. It just comes down to going when God says go, doing when God says do. Rahab at one point even said that the people in the land had lost all courage to fight the Israelites because they had heard about what their God had did. Y'all, the Canaanites had more faith in the acts that God performed for the Israelites than the Israelites that actually benefited from those acts did. The Canaanites had more faith in what their God could do to them than the Israelites did, and they were the ones to benefit from what God had did for them. Obedience. Just go when God says go. Just go.